guys are so funny. You're trying to get me to do this stupid shit. And
she just whispered, "I'm a bad bitch," for anyone who didn't hear. Stop. 420.
I'm lit at Disney.
And the kids asleep in the bath.
There we go.
A ball sack station.
That's what a business owner looks like. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Tattoo Homewreckers. This is a podcast where we talk about tattoos, life, and everything in between. My name is Callista, and this is my very best friend, Lou.
That's me, with the grumpy face.
With the grumpy face.
Yeah.
Right next to me. It has been a while since we've talked to you guys. Sorry about that.
Yeah, last week we tried, y'all, and it did not happen.
We kept trying.
It was a really, really tiring week.
It was
a really
insane.
busy week, and then we were just grumpy perpetually, and then we were tired, and there were days where, like, we were supposed to record, and then I just slept, and then there was a day that we were supposed to record, and you just slept.
Yeah, and then there was a day that, like, we were like, okay, we for sure have to do it this day after this event, and then we both came home and we were so wrecked that, like, we just couldn't. So
are your whole... Yeah, they're pretty much gone.
They're pretty much gone.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we tattooed the inside of my fingers. And,
it's a dumb tattoo to do.
It really is. Because
and we're going to keep doing it.
We're going to keep doing it.
Only on you. I'm not tattooing other people.
Yeah, we're just going to keep drilling in Bug's Life on my fingers. But anyways, we're back. Holy cow. It's been so long. It's good to see you guys again. I know that we're not physically seeing you, but...
It's good that you guys get to see and or hear us.
Yeah, it's kind of like we're hanging out, right?
I think it is. As someone who, like, avidly listens to podcasts, I get really excited when the new podcast that I listen to drops.
Yeah, okay, great.
I also have to dissociate from the fact that people like our podcast. That part I have to be like, nope, that doesn't exist.
Yeah, that part, I'm like, that's none of my business, actually.
100%.
I have no idea. Yeah. So anyways, we're back. What does your gender feel like, Lou?
My gender feels like a piece of crumpled up aluminum foil that's covered in some dust bunnies.
We've been really rolling with the crumpled up paper.
I've been feeling crumply, dog. Like, I am a crumpled up mess.
Yes.
One of our beautiful Aussie friends was just asking me yesterday what I do to rest. And I was like, she's like, what do you do on a day off? And I was like, what is that? I was like, I'm still getting over that, like, Mexican and American culture.
Absolutely.
Of, like, always working and having stuff to do. And she, so sweet, is like, read a book, color, like, pages, like, have a conversation, something that makes you feel most you and, like, more connected to you. And I'm like, working makes me feel connected to me.
See, that's the problem is, like, I love working.
Yeah.
But
I'd like to tattoo more fun stuff. That would make me feel most connected to me.
Exactly. Feel recharged and connected with, like, our career, our industry, just our overall lives, because work is a huge part of our life, and I love working. But it is hard when you love working the way that we do. It is hard to work really hard for something and then have it not pay off, you know?
Oh,
It's continuous idea of, like...
We had 2 bad events this weekend. And to be fair, it was, I'm going to tell them. We had 2 bad events. And on the drive home, we were like, we should fly back to the United States to do a guest spot.
Just to make a fuck ton of money.
Just to, like, you say that. I say, so that way I can tattoo shit that I want to tattoo on people that, like, appreciate it.
Yeah, totally.
Because we're going to talk about the industry for a second. But, yeah, after 2 events that were, and to be fair, we weren't the only people that were slow. Like, both group chats, which, again, y'all, this is wild for our American, for our non-Kiwi listeners, or for people that just don't participate in
like, markets and
stuff. Every market creates their own little group chat, and then everyone, like, has conversations, like, about, like, the details of it and stuff. It's crazy to me, because as someone who's been trying to avoid group chats my entire adult life, to then get, like, linked into group chats, I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like, I'm just ready to throw my phone out. But it's, like, super normal here to just be in a WhatsApp, like, group chat with, like, 30 other vendors. And then people are like, these are my discounts for any other vendors, or, like, this is what I'm doing, where can I park? And so after both events, people were like, hey, like, this was really slow.
Yeah, people were... I did appreciate that, that everyone was like, hey, just checking in. Like, how did you guys do? I didn't do very well. I didn't make any sales today. And then people were like, hey, I didn't make any sales either. Or someone was like, I made one sale and that was from another vendor. So thank you to this vendor.
Yeah. And they're just like, yeah. And so both of them, and one of them was down here in Hamilton and then one of them was up in Auckland. Yep. And so like it was just a weekend where we weren't busy. Mm-hmm. And then on the drive back, we're like, fuck it. We're going to go do a guest spot in the States.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Because at least then we get to tattoo like a bunch of fun shit.
We want. Yeah.
And
we
make
get to
some money.
All of our colors.
Yeah.
We get to make some money. We get to say hi to all of our clients again. And like, that's the hard part about moving to a different country too, is like we were putting in a lot of work just to see what works, you know?
Yes.
So, and like the pattern recognition isn't there yet. So one of the things that we noticed is maybe like when it's a particularly nice weekend, so it was sunny all weekend. Yeah. And that also sucked, you know, because we were stuck inside.
Yeah, we were stuck inside and at a beautiful venue where we can see the beach.
Physically see the beach.
Yeah, we can see it. The windows are open. We can smell it.
Yep, people are walking their dogs. Like, it was awesome.
And we are stuck inside.
Yeah, we're just
working.
Well, not even working at that point.
Yeah.
We're just like
barely baby working.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so a lot of it is like still developing that pattern recognition. So some people were like, hey, I think it was a combination of like, it was a beautiful weekend. People don't want to be indoors. And also people just got done with their exams. So they're out of town. And there was another big event that happened this weekend. And I was like, oh, dang. Well, it's cool that we all have each other to exchange this information.
Which, that's something that I do appreciate culturally, is that there is a, like, exchange of info. And I understand that kind of goes hand in hand with you have to be a part of group conversations to then get all the benefits of group conversations.
Yeah.
But
it's exhausting.
Like, ooh.
Yeah, people think that, like, community is supposed to be an easy thing. And the thing is it's not.
Yeah,
like,
it's inconvenient.
It is
the price of community.
Absolutely. You have to be inconvenienced. You have to realize that there is still like, you're going to be tired from being perceived. You're going to be tired from, I don't know, hearing about this person's cat that you're like, why is this in the group chat? This could have been a private DM to, I don't know, whoever except for me, but you know, that is the price you pay.
I'm the person that is guilty of like private DMing. Like I had specific questions that did not affect any other vendors about like, you know, if we're doing a tattoo setup, I needed an extra allotted time to be able to disinfect the space.
Yeah.
And so I like had like a private message specifically to the event organizer to be like, hey, can I come in a little bit early so we can like prepare, and like, can we like set up like this so that way it's like the safest way we can do this? Because I was like, I'm not going to bother everyone with like in the group chat, but I'm also sure the vendor is like fielding a million different messages as well, being like, oh my fucking God, you guys put it in one spot.
Yeah, totally. Where it's like, oh my, now I have like 5 different channels of 5 different messages. Yeah. But, you know, alas, that is a cost that you have to pay when it comes to community and organizing.
If they can see on the screen the amount of fucking steam.
Yeah.
Something else. Hot. Yeah. Something else that's weird. And I don't know the science behind it. And quite frankly, I've been too lazy to look it up because I'm kind of just enjoying the mystery of it. But if you do know the science behind it, please drop it in the comments. I will gladly learn from someone else. I'm just not researching it. But the like drinks here boil very quickly and also stay hot. For like, it's ungodly hot.
And it stays that level, but then there's a severe drop off point that happens. What is that?
Yeah. So if you are like someone that ate avocados in the States, and we all make the jokes around like avocados are good for one day, and then you turn around and you're just like, and it's no longer edible. And it takes so long for them to be the perfect amount of ripe. That being said, once they get ripe, just put them in the fridge. They'll last forever. Or you can store them in the fridge in water and they last even longer. But I haven't found the trick here for like beverages are either ungodly hot or really cold.
Yep.
Like you have 2 options where it's like probably for this amount of coffee that I have, which I don't know how many milliliters that is because I'm still not learning that. It'll be the correct temperature for about 2 minutes, and I have to just chug it during that.
Exactly.
But I did just burn my tongue, so that's fun.
Yeah, the drop-off point is fucking harsh.
We got so distracted. What does your gender feel like?
That's okay. I'm here for being distracted because, to be honest, you guys, we only came up with the theme of the episode maybe 2 seconds before we started recording, so it's going to be a little chaotic.
Also, to be fair, we did talk about it pretty extensely, like on the drive. Yeah. That's to be like, hey, we need to talk about like this industry and like what's going on.
Yes. But my gender today feels like an onion.
Yes, I love when your gender feels like an onion.
I'm not going to elaborate.
What type of onion?
Yellow.
Nice. Perfect. She said, I'm not going to elaborate. And I immediately asked a question.
That's okay.
My yellow. Oh, I can't say that.
Yeah, I just
You're trying to get me canceled.
Okay,
I was gonna call you my yellow onion girl.
My onion girl in the onion world. What we're here to talk about today, I wanted to talk about the ethics of getting tattooed, but also the how to watch out for tattoo scam artists. And how they both kind of come into play with each other.
Yes.
So, tattoo scam artists. What on earth is a tattoo scam artist? If you were about to try to explain that to someone, what is one thing that you would say is a dead giveaway that this person's a scammer?
Dead giveaway. That's from a different podcast. I would honestly say when everything that they have like out design-wise is not drawn by them.
Yeah.
When like literally everything you're looking at is just like Google image grabs. It's just a whole bunch of like images
totally
printed on a page that you're like, you very obviously grabbed all of that from Google.
Yeah.
Not even that you like were inspired by other artists and then drew it yourself, but you're just like, hey, I'm going to print out a Google sheet of tattoo designs and then sell that and act like it's my original stuff.
Yeah. That ties into the ethics of like when it comes to getting tattooed. I think a lot of people would ask like me, why is this an ethical discussion? Why does it matter if I'm like just paying them for a service? Like, can't I just get tattooed by them even though these are Google images? They're doing the tattoo at the end of the day, right? Like, what's wrong with that? And to me, you brought up this really good point. We riff on people who use AI and are adamantly against using AI because AI rips off other artists. And that's what these tattoo artists are doing as well.
Yep.
It's just ripping off like art from the internet that could have gone into the pocket of that original artist's like hard work.
Can I just add what I find like really hypocritical about that is that as an industry, we talk a lot of shit. And like if you go online and see where like, oh, the original artist did this and then another artist copied them.
Yeah.
The internet goes fucking insane for that and is like, oh, I can't believe you stole someone's artwork. Yeah. But to have an entire board or book of just print off Google images is not considered to be just stealing another artist's work because it's on Google. Well, that's probably where that fucking other artist got that tattoo from.
Totally.
Like just because they're taking it off someone else's skin and not just off the internet, like it's suddenly different.
Yeah. I agree. I think that like not a lot of clients realize again like the ethics of it, right? Which is like, oh, so
well, I think it's on the artist to be clear. I think that the ethics come down to the artist, and then there is the do you support this type of artist? Is where the ethics come from.
I think
clients.
That's the conversation I want to start with clients is like if you are fine with supporting that kind of artist, that's fine. It's your body, your choice always.
But I think you need to elaborate on the type of artist first.
Yeah, on the tattoo scam artist.
Yes.
Totally. I think that, gosh, to call them an artist in general, I just want to call them tattoo scammers. Because this person to me is somebody who adamantly does not care about artwork. This person does not have any kind of like, again, ethic ties to what it means to create your own art. They don't have any like respect for how long it takes to make that kind of art. Because again, like I know how long it takes to make a $100 flash sheet of just bangers, right? Takes a long fucking time.
I quite frankly would rather just do one elaborate design.
Yeah, than pull out
because it
50
takes,
fucking or 20 even fucking designs of just different fucking random things. It takes forever to do. It takes such a long time. And that's where I get like again irritated at like the whole I'm just gonna take this Google image and print it off.
Yep.
I fucking hate that. It is just so lazy. And I think lazy is probably the number one thing that I would use to describe this kind of artist. If you see that they have a lack of effort in, again, even just tracing their own shit, that's a tattoo scam artist.
I think that's the part that kills me is it's like, I get that we, to a certain degree, we all use the same references. Like in particular, back in the day, we all use the same references. And again, back in the day, we all had like flash sheets that we paid for. And I think this is probably the difference for me is like being someone who's been in the industry for over 20 years. We all had like oh my God, I just brain
Cherry
farted.
Creek.
Cherry Creek.
Got you.
And like Sailor Jerry, like artwork on our walls, which was like, hey, we can copy these. And that's where the industry was, where it was like, hey, you had your like custom artists and then you had your flash artists. But the difference is that we paid for those. And then if you heard of a shop that just like stole or copied someone else's flash and then put it up, as an industry, we were looking at them like, okay, you're a fucking hack. Like, pay this person because these original artists sell their artwork to like flash companies and make money. So it is no different than just like, I don't know, fucking pirating movies where, yeah, when I was young, I was like, oh, I can't afford anything. And I pirated movies. And then the moment I started to make money, I said, hey, I'm going to pay to actually like support these industries. Same as like I pay to support artists of all kinds, whether it's musicians, filmmakers, or actual artists. But to then just go onto Google and print off a bunch of like cartoon sheets, or where it's like, oh, look at this like beautiful elaborate design that like I can just go on the first page of Google and know you just printed that. You didn't retrace it, you didn't draw it, you didn't change any modifications, like, and then you are selling it as if it is your own.
Totally.
And like for me, that's something that I really struggle with because like, yeah, I get that like tracing is a part of our job. People will come in and be like, I want this exact thing. And I think that's something that for me really matters is explaining to clients the difference between if your client brings you that reference and is like, hey, I want a Daria tattoo. And like, that's straight up what I want. Or like, you know, I tattoo a ton of Disney characters. I want these Disney characters and I want them to look like this. Am I tracing Mickey Mouse? Yes, because you literally want Mickey Mouse. The same as if you want a portrait, I'm going to do it just like your loved one that I'm tattooing on you. I'm going to work straight off of a photograph. If I'm doing a realistic rose, I am not painting a realistic rose and then drawing it or then tattooing it. What I'm doing is I'm going to take a photograph of a realistic rose and I'm going to trace it and then I'm going to replicate that on the skin.
Absolutely.
The difference there is that I am not selling a photograph of this rose as, hey, this is my original artwork that you can just come in and grab off a fucking sheet of 200 other designs that I have done nothing for. I have genuinely just been like, let me rip this. And then act like it's mine. And again, it's different if your client comes in and requests that as opposed to that's your entire marketing is that you're just printing shit out and putting them in a cardboard box for people to rifle through. I know. It really
drives the whole industry down. You know, it drags it down is what I'm trying to say. It like, it's the idea of like there is no honor in it, you know, which I get can kind of sound corny to people who are thinking of it in like a capitalistic way. But for me, tattoos are genuinely like such a special thing. Because you are personally affecting someone for the rest of their life. And you can see that physically on them. And like that is fucking like sacred to me, you know.
Well, so those designs look heartless.
There's no soul in them. When you're ripping off of Google Images, like shit, like I have definitely saw like a Google image of like, I don't know, we'll say a drawing of like a mouse or something and been like, oh, I want to draw that, but I'll draw it in my style. And you can tell. And I think like not a lot of clients can tell, nor do they have this idea of like this conversation even starting, like, oh, I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think of like, I'm sure that there's a lot of clients that were like, I didn't even think to even see what the difference was. Or even have the tools to know what the difference is. And for me, I think a telltale sign for any kind of tattoo scam artist is the fact that like there are, again, it's really easy. If you just Google tattoo flash sheet and imagine that, but like just post it all over in a book or on a board or whatever. And you can tell that they're all different styles. So this obviously can't be from the same person. Right? Because even if I draw different styles, there is still that like, I don't know how to describe it. There is still me in them. You can still feel like me in them. You know?
Well, I think like one of the nicest compliments I ever got, which is really funny in this context, is that I had pulled a really clean line drawing. And this is before like I used like a drawing pad and I just pulled it with like microns. And my client was like, I don't want something that you printed off the internet. And everyone else in the shop was like, oh shit, dog. Like, your lines are so clean. They think that shit is fake. And like, that at that point was like, oh my God, that's like the nicest thing you could say. Because I literally worked on my like line work being really clean, and I did nail that piece. But she like could not be convinced that I did not draw it with my own hands. Yeah. And it was one of those things that at the time I was like, wow, that's crazy. Like, you think that like I just like ripped this off the internet? Thank you so much. Whereas now, like, being surrounded by that when it comes to like these sort of like flash events is incredibly frustrating, because it just feels like, again, you're going to get mad that someone's like selling AI artwork. And this is the same thing as AI artwork.
Oh, totally. 100%. Like, and my thing is like, it hurts me so bad to watch people get tattooed, because I'm like, at least go to someone who cares. And there are a lot of...
I think you should elaborate on that. Yeah, because I think that's a huge part of it, is it's like, if you can't draw and you fucking just want to trace everything, cool. You took the time to trace, but it means you care.
Yeah. You actually care. A lot of these tattoo scam artists, not only do they not care enough to just trace it themselves and then print it off, or like, I don't know, at least fucking, if you're gonna rip people off, then I've always said, like, if you're gonna be a criminal, be a smart criminal. Rearrange things at least. You can totally tell that this is all like, again, printed off from Pinterest or Google or whatever the fuck. The people who care are going to be the people who like also give a shit enough to make sure their environment is clean. They're going to give a shit enough to know that they are giving you a custom piece. Like, there is not another person out there who is walking around with that same tattoo. Now, mind you, again, the rule to that exception is, or the exception to the rule is like American traditional, like, flash pieces. That makes sense to me. That totally makes sense. And I know that some people are going to be like, but why does it make sense? It's because that flash was made to do that. American traditional flash, Sailor Jerry flash, Cherry Creek flash, it was made so that way you could pick it off the wall and it'd be quick.
But the difference there too is that like you still, like, Jade draws traditional flash, and you can see her in it. Yeah. And I think that's the thing, is that like the type of artist that is going to just print off the type of like, just print off a ton of shit from the internet, to not draw anything themselves, to lay out everything like, yep, here you go, just pick a design, any design, I don't give a fuck.
Dude.
Does not care about you as a client, and does not care about the art and like the actual soul of our industry, where it's just like, no, I don't give a shit. Like, at that point, like, it is like, I cannot explain how like heartless and soulless it is.
Yeah.
Because those type of artists, again, like you kind of pointed out, like, tend to not care about the cleanliness in their environment.
If they don't care enough to draw it themselves, they are not going to give a shit enough to make sure that you are safe. Yeah. Just saying. I've seen so many horrible things in the past, like, fucking few months or so, just doing more like flash events and pop-up events with other artists. And it's like abhorrent to me, where I'm like, oh my God, you're like not even using proper cleaning equipment. You're not, there is no idea
it's just
of
about
cross-contamination.
Cranking shit out to them.
Totally.
So you're just watching them like crank stuff out, and you're watching, like you said, that cross-contamination. And the really fucked up part about it is, it's like, if you want a tattoo, part of a tattoo is having an experience with your artist.
Yeah,
that is part of that like connection that you carry. And I understand not everyone wants that. So people might want to just be like, hey, fuck it, I want to pick off of a random board and I just want to put something on me for the rest of my life. But as someone who spends so much time doing cover-ups
Dude, totally.
of those same exact pieces, or as two people who spend a lot of time, because I will tell you, watching this over the last several months, it has been heartbreaking to see, not only are they getting like soulless pieces, and like artists don't even have colors that like people want because they don't fucking care about providing a good service, but they also put tattoos on there crooked, and they don't provide mirrors for people to see if it's straight. And yes, you might be thinking, well, that's on the client to do their own due diligence. And I agree with that to a certain degree. But I think that there comes to a level, like, for me, I'm more upset with the artists, because I do think that is a form of scamming.
Yeah. Totally.
I personally wish that like the like event organizers for these events would do a better job of like screening, to be like, hey, dude, you need to make sure that you're safe, and also that you're not fucking people up.
Yeah.
But like, the way that they like place the pieces on the body, it's wherever that fucking stencil ends up the first time. That's it. That's where your tattoo goes.
Totally. They don't actually provide an environment where their client can speak up and be like, can we move this? Like, and that's what frustrates me too, is like the kind of person who is going to just print shit off soullessly from Google and just paste it and have it be available for Flash is not the kind of person who will take the time to understand the power dynamics between tattoo artist and client. It is your job as a professional to make sure that your client knows, like, essentially what their rights are. Like,
yes.
100%. Like, what they should say, to give them a platform to speak up, to give them a platform to say, hey, if you want to move it, yes, we can. I'm totally fine with that. Making sure that communication is always underway. If you have any questions during the process, please let me know. I just hate to watch it because, again, these people are just getting these soulless pieces cranked out. And for me, like, to have my, like, livelihood, basically, my whole life is tied into tattooing. So is yours. And watch it be essentially, like, bastardized over and over and over again is so heartbreaking. And I think that there might be a few people who would listen to this episode and be like, are you guys gatekeeping the tattoo industry? Because that's a huge word that's happening right now online, on the internet. People are gatekeeping tattoos. And for me, I don't know if this is, sorry, the rain is going crazy right now.
I don't know why you're saying sorry. You don't control the rain?
I do control the rain.
What?
I think that, like, at the risk of being accused of gatekeeping, I will still say that, like, if you're not going into an industry making sure that you are leveling it up and making it better, then you don't belong in that industry.
Well, and I don't think that's gatekeeping. That's called professionalism.
It's called professional. It's called wanting
that's also
better.
Called care.
Yeah, like, it's loving. It's loving the industry, and, like, if you love the industry, it will love you right back. If you pour love and energy and effort into your clients, they will do the same thing. And so, yeah, that's why it's so fucking frustrating watching these hacks get away with it over and over and over again.
Absolutely,
it's awful, and I just want people to know that they deserve better. And I feel like a lot of people don't actually realize that, like, it is an issue. Like, oh my God, I do deserve better. The tattoo industry isn't always like this. I shouldn't just be treated like a slab of meat or like a canvas. Like, I should be treated as another human being, getting a permanent procedure done and hopefully connecting with my artist. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about, like, ethically, what the hell is going on, you guys? What the fuck, man? I'm so over it. It's so annoying. Do you have any other kind of descriptors that you would say for a tattoo scam artist? We have the printing shit off, not actually drawing. For me, it's the, I don't think I fully talked about this. I touched this for 2 seconds, but the uncleanliness of it all. If your tattoo artist has food anywhere around their supplies or their station, aka like the surface that they use to tattoo you on, whether it be a drink or whatever, don't, God, it's not, it's gross is what it is. There's a lot of cross-contamination going on. I know that there are a lot of tattoo artists that like having beverages on their station, but that's disgusting, dude. Like, come on.
This is also the only industry in which you will see that. Because if you were at a dentist's office, they're not drinking or eating during procedure. The regulations for, like, a lot of the states in the United States clearly state you cannot drink or eat during procedure. Technically speaking, the New Zealand regulations do state that you are not to have food or drink on your work surface. The difference is that, like, no one's doing inspections here. And I also don't think that, like, anyone's really read those, because when I talked about, like, the actual national regulations on it to a couple artists, they all looked, like, incredibly shocked that like they even had them. But I do think that, like, unless it's part of a cultural practice, then, like, obviously that's not what we're speaking about. But if it comes to just, like, hey, you're going into a tattoo shop or you're at, like, one of these pop-up events and your artist has gloves on or has a drink, like, on their station, like, the risk for both of you for that cross-contamination is astronomically higher. And also, just quite frankly, gross and not professional.
Yeah. I think, like, a good way to think about it is, if you're a client and you know nothing about, like, cross-contamination, just think about all of your experiences at the dentist or the doctor's office. Yeah. And so while you're getting a shot or something, you don't see your nurse put her Monster Energy drink down on the same surface as like, literally, it's never in the room, first of all. But it's definitely not on the same surface as where your needles are going to be. And it's the same thing with tattoos.
Yeah. I just watched somebody bandaging someone up and then touching her hair to get it out of her face this weekend. And I was like, oh my fuck. And then go back to touching the client. Yeah. So I'm like, so if that client has anything, you've just put that right on your face, which has multiple mucous membranes, which are very susceptible to diseases. Yep. That being said, those mucous membranes can also be points of contamination from you to her. And like your client is not in a place in which like she can say anything. She definitely looked uncomfortable, but like there again is that power dynamic. So I think that like the industry on a whole, and I've been yelling about this for years, is that like we have an incredibly uneducated, unprofessional industry. And right now we kind of just want to talk about it because it's been like very much in our faces as of late. And I think for me, the other big thing is that if your artist doesn't have a, like just a warning thing, is if they don't have a portfolio.
Oh my God. Thank you for saying that.
Don't get tattooed by them.
I knew I was missing something.
If they don't like the, you know, artists that we have in mind that like have had all these like, you know, I say the word flash very loosely, which is just printouts from Google and Pinterest, not actual flash. But because let me actually back up real fast. Because I do want to talk about that. Like differences. They're like, oh, well, it's flash. So what does it matter that they printed it out? Because again, old school, we used to fucking pay for flash. The difference is someone actually drew that way back when. Yeah. And also the industry has changed, which means that as tattoo artists now, we are expected to also produce our own artwork. Yep. Like that is just how that works. As the industry changed, I'm expected to produce like social media content. Yep. And I'm expected to produce my own artwork. And again, I love tattooing characters. I love tattooing like Disney and like 90s characters. And do I like draw them myself? No, I don't, because you want an exact fucking Mickey Mouse. But I also don't put that out as like, hey, this is available flash. These are available designs. Because I do not feel comfortable for me specifically to be like, hey, I'm going to put this next to stuff that I've already, like that I have drawn that is original to me. And so like, it's just something that I wanted to clear up because people are like, oh, well, it's flash. So what does it matter? It is that our industry changed to be an industry that was no longer about just throwing fucking stickers on people, but instead was about creating artwork. And though I understand that, again, these people still exist. There are still sticker people. But as someone who spends so much time fixing this shit, it is infuriating because I don't think that people can tell the difference between like, oh, hey, that person has a B on their board and you have a B in your book. Well, theirs looks like the exact same as yours. So what does it matter? Where it's like, well, this person just put it on you in a fucking awkward, crooked spot that like right now when you're laying down, which also if they're stenciling you laying down, that's a big red flag. But like while you're laying down, that looks fine. But the moment you sit up, your fucking tattoo is crooked as shit.
Totally.
Like it's just one of those things of like knowing whether or not a tattoo artist cares.
Yes. Oh my God.
And that means putting in the work beforehand. So that means taking the time to create displays, to create an environment that feels good and clean and safe. All of those will come out into your tattoo.
Yes. The question that you should be asking always is, does my tattoo artist care? And to preface with, okay, how do I know if my tattoo artist cares? Your tattoo artist will, A, have a portfolio out. B, actually have their own drawn designs out. C,
will not show you stuff in a box.
They're not, the way...
In a used fucking box.
Oh my fucking God, you guys, get a fucking art portfolio. Get a fucking binder. Anything but that. Anything but that. Oh my fucking God.
Have a tattoo portfolio. Your artist should have a tattoo portfolio. Yeah. Because honestly, it is wild to me that people are getting tattooed in these situations. Yeah. Not looking at the quality of someone's work.
Oh my God, right?
Like that is crazy.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing is like, that's the other part of what bothers me about tattoo scam artists. It's feeding and being predatory on people's naivete. Thank you. that you're preying on that because you're not going to show your artwork. You're not going to be able to prove that you can actually fucking do this tattoo. Your clients just believe, oh, well, they have it up on the board, so they have to be able to have the skills to do this. That's not true. If you don't see proof of like their past work, that doesn't mean anything. Just because they have it out and available to grab your money, it's to take your money. It's not to actually do a good job.
Yeah.
Your tattoo artist will also, if they have like actual paperwork, turns out they probably fucking care. Right?
Oh, yeah. The lack of paperwork is wild to me. Because again, we open you up to possibilities of infection. Yeah. Anytime that we are breaking the skin as a professional, we are taking on the risk that something could happen. So it is our responsibility to make sure that everything is covered on our end.
Yep.
So we want to make sure that everything is trackable. So in case there is a recall on inks, which does happen, we can contact you because we know what inks we used on you. In case there is an issue with the sterilization of a particular batch of needles, which again does happen, we can contact you. We can make sure that like we have all of your information so that way if there is an issue on our end, we can make sure that you are covered and that we are not just like, I don't know, you walked out and you just disappeared into the fucking ether because I don't care.
Yep.
Like, it's insane to me. And like the reason that your tattoo artist is not doing paperwork is because they don't care about making sure that you are protected. It's also just for like artists that are like, oh my God, that's not why. I just didn't know that I had to do paperwork. Y'all, it is 2025 and we are professionals. Do paperwork because it's also going to protect you if you have everything in writing. And if you are a shop owner, you should keep the paperwork.
Totally.
And make sure that you have it because you don't know if someone's going to get weirdly sue happy. And so making sure that like, all you have to do is scan it in. I'm not asking you to have filing cabinets full of paperwork. You just like once a week, take it, scan it, file it, and you've got it.
Yep.
It's not super difficult, but it protects you and your clients.
Totally. And again, it's like what you said. I mean, it's 2025. Like, we don't really have any excuses anymore. We really don't. We really fucking don't. And all you want, I think, bare minimum, when you are getting tattooed is for your artist to give a fuck. Because, again, it's on you forever. So it is a vulnerable process. It's not just about the like, oh, I'm getting the adrenaline from doing something different. Take a second and actually realize, and I feel like this is where I feel like a parent almost telling my kids to be safe, you know? Like, no, actually, this shit does matter. It does fucking matter.
I think that's also, that brought up like one other point that I want to make on it is that if your artist is pressuring you to be like, oh, you need to give me a deposit so that way I can be sure to get you in, that is scammy behavior. Anytime someone wants you to rush, that's scammy.
Yeah.
Because
if you feel rushed at all.
Because that's one of the things that we've been like, or at least I've been observing, is that like there's typically somebody like lingering around the booth, kind of sleazy, and they're like, oh, do you want to get a tattoo? Yeah, what do you want to get? Okay, well, if you want to get tattooed, I need to like go ahead and get you to pay right now, and then you can come back in 2 hours.
Yep.
You should be able to, like, that is true, like, fucking used car salesman bullshit. You should be able to walk away.
Yeah.
And then have lunch, think about it, and be like, okay, this is a permanent decision. Like, I cannot tell you the amount of people that walk up and see a design. They're like, oh my God, I so want this. And I'm like, thank you so much. I've got someone on the chair. If you want to go grab lunch, you can absolutely think about it. Yeah. And then they come back and they're like, ooh, I don't know. Like, I'm not 100%. Like, I'm really excited and I really like it, but I don't know if I want to do it today. And then I say, well, you've got my information.
Yeah, you know where I am.
Yeah, take a picture of it. If you decide you want to get it done, just shoot me an email. We can absolutely do it. Because I never want someone to feel pressured into getting tattooed by me.
Absolutely.
I want people to be excited about getting tattooed, but I do not want you to make an impulsive decision because, again, as a cover-up tattoo artist, that is one of the reasons why I do so many fucking cover-ups.
Totally.
Because people were, in that moment, felt pressured or, like you said, had that, like, height of adrenaline to be like, oh my God, I'm doing something crazy.
Yeah.
Y'all, it's fucking permanent.
Yeah. And trust me, like, you don't want to go into the mentality of like, well, I can just cover it up later. Like, I promise you, so many people start doing these sticker sleeves and they're like, well, if I just get more tattooed, then maybe it'll disguise or hide the fact that the rest of my tattoos are shit. It doesn't. You need to actually take a second, form a plan, find somebody that you trust to tattoo, somebody who gives a fuck, and come up with an actual piece that you're going to be happy with wearing for the rest of your life.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because if you're just like, hey, but I love the aesthetic of sticker sleeves, that's great. Totally. You can have a sticker sleeve that looks great that we actually plan out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't mean you have to stick with one artist, but it does mean choosing people that will do compositions that actually enhance the overall design as opposed to just throwing shit on you.
100%.
So,
well, on that note, I've been able to release all of my anger. Do you have anything else that you want to tag on to?
I think I just want to end on a slightly positive note.
Yes.
We love our industry.
Oh my God.
I am so grateful for all of my clients. Mm-hmm. And we don't do these type of podcasts very often where we just come on here and like dog on shit. Because I don't think that like putting negativity out necessarily helps. I do think that like there isn't really a way for me to talk about this shitty, like grifty side of our industry.
Yeah.
Like the purely capitalistic, I just want to take your money and I don't care about you artists.
Totally.
There isn't a way for me to talk about that and not be heated because it is something that I am truly passionate about.
Yeah.
And I do believe that our clients, that every single person deserves better than some jackwagon just over there throwing random shit on them. Mm-hmm. And so I just want to say that if you have previously had those experiences, no judgment. People get tattoos for lots of different reasons.
Yeah, totally.
But also being safe is really important.
Yes. Also, it's, again, like you said, it's not on the client to already know all these things. You know, it's up to the professionals to be able to like educate them. And it's up to, at the end of the day, it's just up to the client to be receptive of it. But again, if you just want to slap shit on there, go ahead. Again, it's your body, your choice.
Yep.
I'm just saying, we do a lot of cover-ups. That's it. That's it. Sorry. Continue.
No, you are good. That is perfect. So on that note, what is your win for the week?
Oh man, my win for the week is finally recording the podcast. Because
I'll give you that because we skipped last week. Usually I'm like, no, we can't keep using that.
Yeah, totally. That was my win for the week. How about yours?
I got so much stuff done today around the house, and so like it feels good because now I'm going to take the rest of the evening to actually relax.
Oh,
I'm going to listen to her, and I'm going to relax and probably watch TV.
Oh, I'm just going to do a quick 180. I got lectured by my partner on me not taking rest days. And because I was like telling them like, oh my God, like I'm just so tired. I feel like I haven't been able to catch a break. And they were like, yeah, you need to take a break in order to catch one. Like,
oh, that's rude. That's rude.
And I was like, well, it's hard because when I take a break, like I spend most of my break like fighting off how guilty I am for taking a break. And they were like, no, but you're just saving energy. Like that's important. Saving energy to get more tasks done in the future.
So you don't take a break because you feel guilty for not taking, like, because you're not getting stuff done, you feel guilty?
Totally. Oh. Yeah. Most of the time, I think there was a reel that you sent a while ago, and it has a lot to do with like CPTSD and like just trauma in general, which is like that idea of like, okay, so if you're spending half of your break time trying to fight off the guilt that you feel for taking a break, then you're not actually resting.
Yes.
You know, it just prolongs 100%. That like burnout.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's just a nasty habit of mine, but that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah. Mine's, I just get really bored. Like restless? I just feel restless. Yeah. And like, I don't know, like the easiest way to explain it. And I think it was like tied to trauma. And I used to really struggle with like, I would feel really guilty if I wasn't like achieving a bunch of things. But I think now it just comes down to like today I would have considered today a rest day, and I worked on the garage and like I got the house clean, I got the laundry done. And like now I'm like physically like kind of tired. We'll probably do a little bit of a baby workout because I still have like 30% of energy in the tank that needs to get like worked out before I can like sit. Totally. So and then like do some stretches. But I think that like that's truly like, now that I'm no longer doing it from a place of guilt, I also just realize how much of it I need to like like you just unlock that for me, that I was like, oh, I don't do it for that anymore. It's not because I feel guilty. Awesome. It's just because I'm like, I don't know, rest, like, for me, happens in motion and happens while, like, getting stuff off the to-do list. Because that just, like, I don't know how to explain it besides the fact that, like, it recharges me.
Yeah.
And, like, the whole point of rest is to recharge, but people are like, oh, but you need to, like, stop. And I'm like, I don't want to. Well, we've talked about
this before. Rest looks different for everyone. So if there's a task where I can get dopamine from that happens to be productive, I will do that.
Yeah.
But it's the days where, like, I literally don't have anything in the tank anymore, so I can't even do the productive tasks.
You keep chipping away at that, and you won't feel guilty. Because I used to be like, oh my God, but I feel so bad that I'm not doing anything. And you know now, I'm like, bitch, today I'm not doing anything.
Totally.
If I wake up and my body is like, I can do nothing, I'm like, looks like that we can do nothing today.
Yeah, it's that like burnout stage for me where I'm like, I can't even do the productive tasks. So then I just spend half of my time feeling guilty instead of actually resting. So that way I can do the productive.
Oh, we need to work on that.
Totally. Yeah.
That way you can like, Yeah, I think that's also the hard part for me about the idea of like a structured, like this is where the ADHD comes in, is like a structured day off. Like when you're like, oh, Mondays are your day off. Then I'm like, but what if on Monday I feel like doing a million things? And so I think like it's also kind of finding like what that pattern is for you specifically. Where it's like those drawing boundaries like you did around like, hey, social media, but also being like, oh, but what does that look like for you? Because like for me, that was like, okay, well, no one was in the house earlier. So I got to like run around half naked and get a bunch of shit done. And then now that like we're together, then I'm like, okay, well now I get to hang out with you and that's really charging. And to be like, let's do a little workout and then let's just do bestie things.
Totally.
And like that to me is like what looks like a really fucking good day off. But then sometimes it's you and I close the fucking shutters and we binge watch Netflix for fucking 12 hours.
Yeah, and we just sleep.
And we sleep and we eat a bunch of food and then we're just like, ugh, we didn't move at all. And Caboose just has to bring us beverages.
It's amazing. It's the best.
Okay. So, wait.
What are you proud of for today?
For today, I am proud of getting back to the gym. I didn't go to the gym like I went 2 times last week, and that was only at the beginning of the week. So then it'd been like a whole last week since I got back. So, and I almost didn't make it because I had to unpack the shop this morning, and my brain was like, oh, you could just go this afternoon. And then I was like, nah, dog, get this shit done early.
Totally.
And I even signed up to do a partner workout with one of my new friends on Thursday.
Yeah. Good. I'm so glad.
And I initiated. I asked him. I was like, hey, are you working out Thursday? Because Thursdays at my gym, they always do partner workouts.
Dang, that's good.
And so then, and he was like, yeah, 5:30. So I'm going to a weird class time.
Yay!
But yeah.
That's
what are you proud of for today?
I made a really good bagel sandwich.
Dude, your bagel sandwich looked fucking good.
It had protein in it.
I can't believe you found fucking Slim Bagels.
Dude, I know, right?
I was really jelly because I'm a whore for a bagel sandwich.
Oh, love bagel sandwiches. Well, there's some
I don't give a shit about a regular sandwich. Yeah. But the way that you and Caboose love regular sandwiches, where you're like, that fix everything. That's how I feel about bagel sandwiches.
Well, there's some Slim Bagels in there for you, so you can have some if you'd like.
Oh, thank you. And that's why you're my best friend.
Of course.
So on that note, we'll see you guys back next week. And we will probably be not yelling at you about shitty tattoo artists.
Exactly.
But maybe we will.
Who knows? It's a tattoo episode, so whatever.
Yeah, you guys should be happy. We're talking tattoos. Bye!
Bye, bye, bye.